Hey everybody, it's VG time, back again with another deck profile. This time I'm covering another trial deck, which is the Kid Goku leader. I actually think this leader has a lot of potential. I think it's very strong. Even though the build I have right here is a little bit skewed towards a more casual bent, even with that being the case, it is still a very cool, very powerful deck. If you just want the deck list, link down below. Just ask that you please leave a like or comment about what you think about the deck list or any suggestions that you have so that the YouTube gods take and push it out to more people. With that being said, let's just get into it. All right, so we have the leader. Show you the front side first. What makes this guy so great to me is the potential for turn 1 awakening, as well as the ability to gain a card without giving your opponent a card. He has an activate main once per turn that allows you to look at the top 10 to add one yellow earthling with a cost of 1 or one yellow unison with a specified cost of 1 from among them to your hand and shuffle your deck. Now, I did not stretch that part of it far enough. Like, I could easily be running like Mutaitos and things like that in the deck to give myself a lot of targets. But this is more so geared towards awakening as quickly as possible and then abusing some of the mechanics in the deck. Then the awakening condition, and the reason why turn 1 is possible, is when your life is 4 or less, or you have one or more yellow cards in play with Boma or Yamcha in their card names. You draw one, untap one, take life down to 6, and you flip it over. On the back side, you get to choose one of your cards to switch to the rest mode. When this card attack, choose all your opponent's non-energy cards, switch to the rest mode, and choose one. Either draw one or add one yellow Great Ape Son Goku childhood card from your deck to your hand, then shuffle that deck. And then it has an activate battle once per turn. If it is your turn, use up to one mono yellow Earthling card with 5k combo power for the drop and combo with its skills negated for the battle. So on the backside, you are able to build a Z energy every turn just off the leader swing. And that right there sets up a bunch of other plays. We established we need the 1-drops. So we have Boma, which is a great card. She's a 15k attacker once you get on your Z leader side. And then when this card is played, you draw a card. So she's a cantrip. And then it says, auto once per turn, discard one card for your hand. When this card is switched to rest mode by one of your skills, draw one card and switch this card to active mode. So that might seem like pointless at first until you realize that it sets up your leader's activate battle. So you swing, you tap her to draw your card, you pitch a card, draw a card, and then you combo the card that you pitch to then build his energy. Yamcha is a little more finicky, but he does top 5 search the Boma as well as Son Goku childhoods and the unisons. So he's totally worth playing. Then it says if your leader is a yellow Z leader or a yellow Son Goku childhood card, when this card is switched to rest mode by one of your leader skills, switch this card to active mode. Then choose one of your yellow Son Goku childhood cards in rest mode that hasn't attacked this turn and switch it to active mode if you do draw a card. So where that comes into play, this guy right here is dual attacker, unique barrier, and says if you have 2 or more energy as a permanent, you get to reduce the evolve cost of Son Goku childhood cards in your hand by 1 in yellow if it doesn't match a name in the battle area. Our only target for it is the big guy right here. So he ends up only costing a yellow and drawing a card in order to evolve him. And he could evolve on any of the Son Goku childhood. But you notice this guy has a dual attack. So the Yamcha allows you to swing with this twice, evolve, and then swing with leader, use the leader skill to restand the card that was evolved because that card is a new card, hasn't attacked this turn. So we have Boma, Stalwart Adventurer. This is the main unison of the deck. This card right here gives 5k to the non-Great Ape Son Goku childhoods. We have 2 cards that fit that description, and that allows these cards to be actual threats. They're 10Ks normally, but now they're 15s. And then the +2 allows you to play a 3-cost non-Great Ape Son Goku childhood if your leader is a Z leader or Great Ape Son Goku, so basically on your back. The -1 says when your opponent attacks, switch this card to active mode and gains blocker for the turn. So that's more like of an in a pinch situation. But the great thing is you could just +2, +2, +2, even if you don't have targets, which then makes her kind of difficult to deal with. The main target is Explosive Spirit Son Goku. It's actually the only target. It has blocker, barrier, and auto. When this card, when you play this card, you get to pop a guy in rest mode, and then at the end of the turn, switch it to active mode. So because of the Boma permanent again, you're able to swing for 15 and switch it back, and then you have a blocker. Great card. We already went over this guy. And then the benefit from playing all these Son Goku childhoods, including this Great Ape, we have I'm the World Champion to draw you 2 cards. This card also being an extra card fuels riposte, so it only makes sense. And it's 1 energy less than playing, like, say, the Goku Ape. Power to Super Saiyan, staple in yellow. Realm of the Gods, Black Kamehameha. So in this deck, this card is infinitely better. So a lot of times you play it for your defensive ability, right? You get to lean back, hope they swing out of order, punish them with Realm of the Gods by tapping 2 guys and drawing a card. So what normally comes up is that I'm playing against decks with either a bunch of barrier threats. This card doesn't really come up, but playing it in offense would be great. Problem is, it's sometimes hard to get the cards you actually want in rest mode. So Leader taps all their stuff. So now Realm gets much better. Get to pop the guys in rest mode. This is Release from Evil. So this card right here is very strong. I'm not sure how strong it will be in Z format, but what it does is it blinks a card. Doesn't matter if it's battle card, leader card, or unison card. And it also does it ignoring barrier, and that card cannot restand. So it stops the multi-attackers. Gamma hates this card because they do a bunch of energy tapping. They swung with their leader. After that, you get to Release from Evil, and then they don't get to untap or bounce their energy and replay their energy at the end of the turn. So just a cool card overall. Cooler, you're playing yellow, gotta play it. Prideful, this was a toss-up between this as well as the Goku blocker, but being free kind of made this take the spot, even though the Goku blocker is amazing. That's Son Goku's Steadfast Assistance. Repulse, great card, we already know. And then we get into our super combos. One is the ultimate. And then we have Krillin's. He's coming to starter, which is great. So that way we could, just when we get to 4 or less lives, start cycling through our deck a little harder. So we talked about this Goku briefly, but didn't actually say what it does. So you could evolve it on top of a Son Goku childhood, which is either the 4-drop or the 3-drop. And you get to draw a card as part of the cost. And when it comes into play, you get to pop opponent's battle card in rest mode. So it's basically Turles, for better or worse. It just pops a guy in rest mode, draws a card, and it's a double striker. It's also a blocker. And it says if your leader is a yellow Son Goku childhood card or yellow Z leader, when this card is moved from the battle area by opponent's skill, play up to 1 yellow Son Goku childhood when energy cost of 4 or less that doesn't have grade 8 from your drop. That's, of course, this guy right here. All right, so now we get to the good stuff cards, and then we're going to finish off with the Z-Deck engine. Gohan, we already know he is going to be pretty stapled in yellow as long as you can play him. You're going to, empower him over a Boma that has a bunch of markers. -3, swing 3 times, all that good stuff. What makes him kind of stupid is that having a 25k Z leader is very, very strong, and it's great defensively. Bergamo, leader triggers it, so you might as well play it. Poutine, leader triggers it, might as well play it. And then we play the superhero package. So we have Pan, Inherited Bloodline. This little lady right here is able to be used for Z energy, used for the Z energy to play for a 2 or greater yellow Z battle card. You're able to pay yellow, put her into play, and she pops a guy in rest mode, ignoring barrier. So that right there in and of itself is very good. She's dual attack, And then she has an auto that says, when this card attacks, use one mono yellow card with 5k combo power, airdrop, and combo with the skills negated for the battle. That's not a once per turn ability, or a limit one. So you get to swing with her, combo, build as the energy, swing with her, combo, build as the energy. So she's fixed. She's functionally a one costed 15k dual attacker that also happens to have deflect. She goes along with this person right here, which is Sun Gohan Flash of Brilliance. Deflect dual attack, he evolves on top of a yellow Sun Gohan superhero, and it brings out how this card would be moving about area and moving the game instead. Same thing with this pan right here. So you can also activate this card's EX Evolve from your drop. That's also important because you can kind of stow it there safely with Bulma early on in the game and then evolve it later. It says you have 4 more energy and a yellow pan superhero card in play. This card gains double strike and barrier for the turn. Again, very easy to do. And then if you have a yellow unison in play, when this card attacks, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards in rest mode, negate its skill for the turn and KO it. Again, very easy to do. So you're going to almost always have the unison. You're going to almost always have the pan. This guy is a beast. But you look at it and you go, man, 3 is a lot to pay for that, even if you're evolving it on top of a Gohan superhero. Well, it doesn't quite work like that. So this guy right here is one of the main targets in the deck, and he's deflect dual attack, and you reduce the EX evolve skills of yellow Son Gohan superhero cards in your hand by 2. So you pay 2, you pitch 1 Z energy to play this guy out, and then the rest of this ability doesn't really matter at all. So he's a dual attacker. You get to swing once, restand, and then you get to pay yellow to play this guy on top, and then you have 2 more swings of 30, but this time with double strike. Other targets for the Z deck is SSB Son Goku, Evolved Defender. We already know this card is pretty insane. You just play it out as deflect and barrier and it locks down a card when you play it from being able to attack. And then it says if this card is in rest mode, when your opponent plays a card, you may place 1 of your Z energy in his owner's drop. If you do, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards or unison cards, switch it to rest mode, and negate the skill for the turn. So it doesn't even have to be the card they played. If they just play a card, trigger this guy, and you get to tap something down. Oolong is super late game. You get to play him for 1 energy and 2 Z energy. He has unique, and he has an activate main once per turn, where you get to choose up to 1 battle card and play ignoring barrier, and his card power becomes that same as that card's. And it says during the start of your opponent's turn, this card power becomes 4K. So biggest thing we could choose is, of course, the Piccolo Gohan. If our opponent has something out there that's completely ridiculous, we could choose that as well. Then we have a Z leader. Our Z leader has critical, and it does have a requirement of 3 or less life and send in 1 Great Ape Son Goku childhood for your drop to your warp in order to play it. Then it says auto once per turn, choose 1 of your cards and switch to rest mode. When this card attacks, play up to 1 yellow Bulma card when energy costs 1 from your hand or drop. So allows you to get some type of advantage that way. It's more roundabout than, say, the way the leader normally is. Then has activate battle once per turn. Place 1 of your Z energy in its drop area. Remove 1 Son Goku childhood card in your drop from the game. This card gets 10k and double strike for the battle. At the end of the battle, remove this card from the game. So this is really like a last ditch ability in my build. You could, of course, like do something like drop this Goku down to 2 and play 2 copies of the Z leader if you really think you need to do that. But because you get to control when that happens, you're not going to really do that unless you know you're going to kind of come through for the win. So yeah, that's basically the deck. It's pretty cool, pretty fun. Has all the engines and all the good stuff. So hopefully you guys give it a try. See how you like it, and let me know. VG Time signing out.